Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Stories. I'm so glad that you're here. Today on the podcast, I spoke with Hunter Gibson, who is an herbalist. I actually found Hunter online as I was seeing her posts talking about different herbs and how she uses them. And she created a group for people that were interested in learning more about what she does. And so I joined the group, and as I was reading about her story and how she got started and why she got started, I thought I really would love to talk to her. I'm all about all natural. I mean, I don't do everything all natural. I should, but I'm all about doing as much natural as I can. I know there's so much that I need to learn, but today when I talked to Hunter, I did learn a whole lot. There's some new herbs that I'm going to be looking for this year when we plant our herb garden, and there's some different things that I want to do. So I hope you will learn as much as I did and will enjoy this conversation. Our word of the week this week,
it's the word of the week,
is knowledge. You know, Hunter started learning about herbs because even though she was already gardening, there was some things that she wanted to do to help her children and help her family. And so she just started researching. You know, when I wanted to start the podcast, I talked about this last week, I think, I had to do my research. Google and YouTube were my best friends. And if there's something you want to learn, there's no reason why you can't gain knowledge. There's no reason why you can't go to the library and read or look online or whatever it is you want to do. I encourage you to become more knowledgeable about that thing that you want to do or you want to grow in or you want to help someone with. It's easy and you can do it. Thanks for listening.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for talking to me. I'm excited about this. I mean, you could teach me so much, which is not really the point today, but I always admire people that do the work that you've done to teach others because there's just so much probably to know. You know, I find recipes for like the flu bomb, you know, everybody's got a recipe for that, but little things like that I can do. There's so much I don't know. So I'm excited to talk to you today, but well, really what I wanted to ask you first, and then we'll kind of go from there is, did you get a certification in something, or is this something that you just wanted to learn to do? And I know you've done research.
Yeah, well, both. In the United States, the certifications, they really don't matter because it's not like recognized.
Right.
So, I mean, the only that it matters to is maybe someone that wants to learn from you or yourself. Now you can be like a registered herbalist with the American Herbalist Guild. That's like the best honor you could get. But I did a few certifications. I have one in medicine making, one in herbalism, one in botanical skincare formulation, and then organic skincare too. But then a lot of self-study.
Yeah. So why did you ever decide to learn? Like, did you ever plan on doing what you're doing now, or were you just doing it for yourself or your family?
I was just doing it for myself. So I had a friend that I was friends with for forever, and she was an herbalist, and she kind of like got me interested in it. And then we knew our oldest daughter had her diagnosis. And then as our youngest daughter started getting a little older, there was questions that she might be autistic. And so I just kind of started researching about autism, and I read all sorts of books. And I read called Gut and the Physiology Syndrome by, I think it's Dr. Natasha McBride. And it completely changed my view on everything. Like it kind of, everything in your body is connected to your gut. And with knowing what I knew about autism through my research and how she can't really detox her body from things, like the option for us was to live a cleaner life. We had to watch what she ate and what we ate, because I mean, I can't eat things and her not be able to eat them.
Right.
The medicines that she took. So it was just, and honestly, it was a more affordable option for us. Already a gardener. So if you do it yourself, it's not really expensive. It's when people do it and then sell it because they're trying to, cover their cost to make a little money. And that's understandable. But that wasn't an option for us. And I already was a gardener. So I went and got a bunch of herbs from a nursery, and I was like, we'll do it. And started learning.
So this is a question off topic a little bit, but I have a son who's 28 who has autism. And when he was first diagnosed, there were not a lot of books. And now I know a lot more, but he's 28. Like, he's kind of set in his ways. And a lot of his diet was based on sensory issues. So there's a lot of things he can't eat because of sensory issues. Like, is there anything, any kind of suggestion as far as healing his gut that he could take that he would take? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I guess it really depends on his sensory preferences.
Okay.
Like my daughter's a cookie girl, so she likes like crackers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It depends on what they like. So what kind of foods be more sensory friendly for?
He kind of eats the same kind of things. Like, he's got, 5 or 6 things that he'll eat, and he doesn't like, he loves pizza, which, we can do healthy pizza, but it's still pizza. It's still not great for him. He loves chicken nuggets, which I try to make my own chicken nuggets, and he won't eat them. If it's something that doesn't look right to him or it looks funny, he's not going to eat it. But it's hard. It's hard to hide good stuff in what he's already eating.
It is.
You know what I mean?
The only thing that I know what you mean with, my daughter, she loves pickles. So
really?
She will pickles in any form, but like just today, I went to get a pickle out of the jar and I stabbed it and it had holes in it, and she wouldn't eat it because it had holes in it. But you could add things like with the healthy pizza. If you did a sourdough crust on that, sourdough is way better for your gut. It's much less processed. It helps lower your glycemic index as you eat it. So instead of spiking your insulin, things like that, tiny things. That's what we've kind of done with my daughter. We make sourdough crackers now instead of store-bought crackers. And then they've done a lot of research on probiotics and prebiotics. And there's one, it's got a huge long name. But anyways, got it from mustard greens in Thailand. They have researched it specifically for autism. Like, it helps with traits. And there's prebiotics and probiotics that you can look for that you can try and include in their diet.
Mm-hmm. He'll drink a lot of things more than he will eat a lot of things. So he'll drink kefir, which that's supposed to be really good, for you too. So
like that you can get in for their gut, because the gut a lot of your issues stem from that. If you have an unhealthy gut, like your hormones can't sequence properly, they can't be absorbed properly, nutrients can't be absorbed properly. So they have a few, and I didn't know until I started doing this research, is they're good for you, but you can get a lot more benefits from a single one. So it kind of helps with particular symptoms, and they found them for everything. They found some for ADHD, some for autism, problems, all sorts of things. So definitely read that whenever you.
I will do that. How has what you're doing helped your family? Like, what have you found that you're doing that you have seen results from with your family? Is it kind of an overall everything? I
think it's a combination. So the lifestyle changes have been huge for us. We eat now no more Little Debbie's or snack food, stuff like that. Our daughter about autism is that a lot of autistic people can't break down casein or gluten. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of had to switch to like a gluten-free diet. And it just, those things particularly like build up in her liver and her brain, and she can't detox them, and they make her symptoms worse. So, and then changing our skincare. Our laundry, we don't wash with laundry detergent anymore. It's baking soda and borax. All of our skincare got changed to natural options.
It's a little overwhelming when you start thinking about it, when you start looking at everything you're eating, everything, all your skin, your makeup, like everything. It's a little bit overwhelming to think about how much junk we're putting in our bodies.
It's sad that everywhere.
It is sad. We have a garden and we grow a lot of vegetables and things in the summer, but I also have an herb garden in the front of my house. And I was curious as to what you grow. You probably have a lot more than what I do. You may not be able to list them all. I do the basics, basil and oregano, and I do all the basics, but what else could I be growing that would be beneficial?
Tulsi. I will scream that from the rooftops.
What is it?
Tulsi or holy basil.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a different type of basil, and it's used a lot in India. It's like the queen of herbs in India, but it is for overall for your body. I mean, they found that it is anthelmintic, so it helps with parasites. It's antifungal, antibacterial.
Wow.
Your memory and your cognition. I use it because I have ADHD. So I grow that, and that has been so far my favorite to learn about. I've really deep dived into Tulsi lately.
So what do you do with it?
I make a tincture from it, but you can do so with a tincture. You can either put it under your tongue or mix it in a drink, which is what I do because I don't really like the way they taste. And I take it with extracted lion's mane, a dual extraction of lion's mane that I make as well, and it really helps support memory and focus and cognition. So
well, that's
let's see. It's not that hard to find. You can buy seeds. I have some seeds. If you want some, I can send you some.
Oh, cool.
And then I grow lemongrass, which is for like respiratory health. It is bug repellent. Helps keep bugs away from your garden and your house. But you can also like infuse it in a witch hazel and it grows very prolifically. And so, I mean, you cut it a week later, it's back.
Wow.
Sometimes as like bone knit, so you can put it on your muscles. You can put it on. The lady I actually bought it from told me a story about her son had a broken leg, her ankle, and they had x-rays done, and her mom kind of dabbles in herbalism, and she made her a poultice to put on her son's leg, and they were putting it on. I can't remember the frequency that she was doing it, but they went back to the doctor like 2 weeks later and had another x-ray, and her son's ankle was basically healed. And the doctor was like, "What are you doing? That is crazy."
That's wild.
So I do comfort. Yeah, there's all sorts of things out there. And it's crazy though. You don't really even have to grow it. You can go outside and look around, and there's things that just grow. People think they're weeds and they help you, like dandelion and plantain, which everywhere. I mean, dandelion's great for your liver. Plantain on bug bites when I get bit by a bug. And it helps pull out and soothe skin. There's so many things.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to think of all the things I got plans to expand this year, and I'm going through all of the new things that I'm excited about.
That's great. How much of an area do you grow, do you think?
The first, it's a 10 by 10 garden.
Okay.
And it supplies everything all of the things that I've made.
Wow.
And I have herbs that'll grow for a year. And it's about time to start gardening again. They grow very fast.
Yeah.
Think about them.
I'm definitely going to have to expand what I do this year. It's kind of been trial and error every year to see what grows. And when like all the ones that I have at the end of the summer or whenever, I can tell they're about done. I'll take them all and grind them down and make like a season, like Italian seasoning or something with my basil and my, stuff like that. But there are some, we've grown sage and it grows great, but I don't know what to do with it. So it just grows and it's pretty. I don't do anything with it.
Sage is antibacterial. I have not grown sage yet. I have some clary sage, really researched sage something. I can't tell you. I don't know it. But even, the herbs that you season your food with, like turmeric, and turmeric is something that I add to everything, and I grow, and it was super easy to grow.
Is it?
Yeah. I had one plant. I mean, it's a tuber plant, so you don't harvest it until the end of the season, but it grew really well, and I grew it in a pot. And turmeric is really anti-inflammatory. I add turmeric to literally everything. My husband doesn't even know it's in there. Black pepper, turmeric, even the things we season our food with can help our bodies so much.
I know cayenne pepper is really good for you. Really? And I don't put it, my husband puts it on everything. I don't, just because I don't like spicy things, but my husband, like I was saying, my husband puts cayenne on everything. Like everything he eats has cayenne pepper. And I know it's good for you, and I should probably start doing a little bit, but I don't like things really spicy. So I just kind of avoid it. But I know it's really good for you.
And kind of wonderful for your heart, for blood, circulatory system, anything like that. It opens your blood vessels to increase circulation. So I've used I don't know if you've seen the poultices that you put on your feet to increase circulation, like you're cold, and they help. which is crazy to think about that you cayenne pepper on your feet and warm them up.
Right.
But yeah, we use cayenne pepper in fire cider a lot too, and it is for your health.
What is fire cider?
Oh, it is a herbal infusion and vinegar, and you could pretty much add whatever you want to it, which is the beauty of fire cider. So technically an oxymel, if you add honey. So you have an apple cider vinegar base, and then you just infuse usually ginger and some sort of capsaicin, so some sort of pepper. You can use jalapenos or cayenne, habanero if you like super spicy. And then fruits. I usually do like oranges or grapefruit for your vitamin C. And you can do lemon. And orange peel also has good benefits for your digestive system as well. And then rosemary, anything you want to put in there. People put elderberry, they put cranberries, rose hips, whatever you'd like, really. There's no cut and dry way to do it. As long as you have the apple cider base and the honey.
Okay. And then do you just take it?
You've made fire cider, essentially.
Do you drink it like a tea, or do you just take it like a medicine?
So you can take it like a medicine. So I just take a little sip of it. And some people say, you're supposed to measure it out, but I just take a little sip of it about 3 or 4 times a day. You can't really overdo it. Have some upper issues like a hernia or something like that. An ulcer, it might irritate that. But other than that, there's it's not something you can really overdose on. And it supports your immunity, it supports your digestion, it helps with inflammation, all sorts of things.
I might need to do that for all of us over here, just to take a little bit. So you started your Facebook group online because you want to help people. You want them to learn how to do this. You said without them having to spend lots of money to learn. Why did you decide to do that?
I have been low income my whole life. And I've told people over and over, like, I think that it would be bad if there is and I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I learn every day. I research, but I think it would be just awful of me if there was something that I knew that could help somebody that was in my shoes or is in my shoes that doesn't have the money to spend that, but needs to live a healthier, cleaner life. If they couldn't get access to that, if they didn't have the money. I've been there. I still am there sometimes. And money has never been a thought of mine. Like it's never controlled never controlled who I am. My God provides for me. There have been times that I didn't know how I was going to pay a bill, and He provides. So I'm not worried about that aspect of it. It's just, I want to help other people have access to these things.
Well, I love it. I think it's great. And every day I see people, joining the group and saying thank you. And people are hungry for stuff like this. Nobody wants to have to deal with the chemicals and all the things that we're doing. But for some people, there's not a lot of options. And I talked about this. One of the girls that I had on, she was in Virginia, and they have a farm, 150-acre farm, and they grow food specifically to give away. Like they give it all away. They don't sell any of it. And she and I talked about this cycle, how people stay unhealthy and sick because the food that they're eating is so bad for them, but it's cheap. People that can't afford healthy food have to eat the cheap food, and the cheap food just keeps them sick. And it's like this terrible cycle that some people don't ever get out of. And so I love what you're doing. It's so helpful to people.
Thank you. It's almost, and it sounds bad to say, but it's almost like it's just a big scheme. Like the food system, it is controlled by big pharma, and then they just cycle into each other. Will make people sick, and they'll go to the doctor, and the cycle continues. And there's not always the monetary factor to be able to get out easily either. And so teaching people, how to do themselves with the things that they have access to around them is kind of a starting place. And it's not going to fix everything. It can give you somewhere to start and maybe give you.
Well, I love it. And I'm glad that I found you online. It's funny how the algorithms work, how you watch a video and then you just start seeing, even without following, you just start seeing, so I love it. I'm thankful. I have a lot of healthy things that pop up, and I love what you're doing. I'm excited to learn new stuff, and I'm definitely going to expand my herb garden this year and get me some new things. I wouldn't think that Walmart and Lowe's and the places we go buy herbs are going to have all these like turmeric and all these other different herbs. Where do we buy those?
So you can check Facebook Marketplace. There are a lot of people local to me that sell some of these things, but there is a website called Strictly Medicinal, and they sell seeds. So if you're comfortable with seed starting, which it's not terribly, and I plan to walk through on how to start these seeds at their house too, because that is the cheapest option is buying the seeds. So Strictly Medicinal, that's a company that I really they sell a lot of medicinal. If you could get the Burpee organic seeds, and then Baker Creek, I believe they sell a few too. So mainly places, a lot of them you're going to have to start from seed. But there is a nursery in North Carolina, which is local to me, called, I think it's Ross Farms, and that is where quite a few of mine from. I got my there, stuff like that. So you can check some of your local nurseries. It's not something that a lot of people have, and like I have to start a lot from seeds, but that's it. It seems scarier than it actually is.
We've done some things from seed, not everything. We've done some, so it's not, to me, it's not that big of a deal. But I definitely want to expand what I've done, and I've never looked for things other than what like I said, I normally get basil and oregano and thyme and all those. Never looked for anything else. So I don't know that they don't have it, but I can't remember it standing out to me when I am looking at the herbs. So would you email me the names of those sites? And just so that if anybody's interested in looking to buy seeds, that I can have that information for them. I'm thankful that I got to talk to you today, and I look forward to learning more online. And I think what you're doing is wonderful. And I know that you're going to help so many people, because this is important. Our health is important. So
yeah, we get one shot at it, really.
Absolutely. That's it.
Take care.
That's right. You do. Well, thank you again. I really was excited to talk to you, and I look forward to learning more about what you're doing. And I will tag you on Monday in the post, and you can share it with whoever you like. And anyway, I appreciate it.
Thank you. I was so nervous.
Oh, gosh. I don't ever want anybody to be nervous talking to me. Well, I appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, too.
I will see you online.
All right. I'll see you then.
All right. Bye-bye.